Welcome back to American Beef Ranch. Today we are irrigating. Welcome back to American Beef Ranch. My name is Jesse. Thanks for watching. You know what to do. Subscribe and like the video. It doesn't cost you nothing and it helps me a bunch. Today I am irrigating. We are out here in a hay field that is an orchard grass alfalfa mix, and we are moving water. This is a wheel line, and in the middle of a wheel line there is a drive unit that has a little gas engine and a hydraulic pump right here. And needless to say, the hydraulic valve leaks a lot, and we got to get a new one of those coming. But for today, I've got a little hydraulic oil. Make sure we get it moved across here, and we're gonna move it around and change water around. And this system here is a little tricky because there's two different kinds of pump controls. There's just, you know, old school, turn a pump on, let it pump full bore all the time. And then there's variable frequency drives, which allow the pump to change what it's pumping based off demand. So if you're at full demand, it pumps full power. If you have a lesser requirement, it pumps less. And so this system doesn't have one of those. So we have to like make sure we don't overpressure the system because we could blow it up. And yeah, it's real fun, real fun. So let's get to this mover and get it moved. Okay, so here's our hydraulic valve, or our leak. Here's our hydraulic tap off. The hydraulic tank is just the frame of this mechanism, which is kind of cool. And then we've got the pump drive, or the hydraulic motor drive, is this little gas engine. And a cover to keep it from getting wet. So let's get this filled up, and hopefully this is enough to get this moved today. I hear hydraulic oil in there. Now we just started moving water, and this is my mom's property, and so we've been kind of helping and going back and forth, and so I don't move this as often as they do, so I'm not sure. Hopefully we have gas. We got enough for today, so set the choke. We've got a little throttle. Let's see if it'll start. Running. It's pretty loud, as you can hear. What I'm doing is I want the sprinklers to end up on top, just like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count revolutions, and this time I want it to roll 4 times, and we're going that way toward the pivot, which we need to talk about in a minute anyway. Cover back on so the motor doesn't get excessive water, and on to the next thing. I did say we needed to talk a little bit because this pivot behind us is getting replaced, and it's moving the pivot point closer this way because the other end of the property is rocky, and you could farm it, but mom doesn't really want to worry about that, so she's moving the pivot to the good ground so they can do less work as they retire. It's probably going to be at least to the end where the wheel lines are right now, but probably a little closer. So it's going to take up a lot of this hay field. And as American Beef Ranch, if we are leasing this property, which we're working on doing right now, we are going to plant a higher dollar organic crop under the pivot, namely organic grain corn. So we will probably plant organic grain corn under the we will plant organic grain corn under the pivot acres. We also are trying to, and my mom is considering, taking the good towers from this pivot and putting them in this corner and having a corner pivot here. And that would just be that much less wheel lines and hand lines we have to move. So this wheel line is going to end up going somewhere else and being used. It's just going to be a little bit shorter, a little bit easier to manage. Wheel lines, they work pretty good, but sometimes they can be a pain in the rear. So we're gonna move down here, get this wheel line hooked up and get it started. Okay, so now we're gonna start this one and then hustle down there and shut off a hand line so we don't lose too much water out of the system. We still have too much water on, so I have to hurry up and hustle at least a half mile over to these other lines and shut another one off. This one is now draining and it's shut off, so the other two should be able to pressure back up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this one, start it, then jump right across the road right here and shut off the other one because we're running two at one time. With that pivot up over there, and hopefully the pivot in the corner, we'll actually have two wheel lines over here, and it'll allow us to water this hayfield a lot better. We also could pick rock through here eventually and add this into the field, and at some point I would like a pivot over here too, but we need to operate it for at least 1 year, make sure we get it taken care of. So walk out through here. This one has a few nuances compared to the other one, but the hay's looks okay considering the amount of fertilizer and care it's had, and also the amount of vole damage that we've had. Man, the voles have been so bad. But anyway, this one has a few nuances. Let's show you. So because of where this part of the pipe is, there needed to be a valve here to help drain the pipe. Now every sprinkler has a drain, and you can see it right here working. And I think what happened is they didn't have any extra drains, my mom and stepdad, and so they put that there, and it helps drain better. But these drains, you know, are a maintenance piece because we're putting hard water through these pipes, and it gets, you know, calcified and plugged up and things like that. So there is that. Somebody may say, well, your next stop's right here. Not quite. We got to go all the way down to the end of this one, open up the end plug and make sure all this water is drained out. And we have to turn on a couple more birds that are at the bottom end. Another valve. Let's see. And we're going to go ahead and turn this sprinkler on. It's good enough. We'll walk down here the last two pipe and open up the end plug and finish it off. Back to the mover. Okay, the same thing as the last one. The only difference is this one moves a heck of a lot faster. Let's see, gas on. Choke. This one moves much quicker. So now that's done, we've got that off, and make sure we shut the gas off on this one, otherwise it leaks. Grab our cover. Look at that placement. That's about perfect. Throw it back on. Go get her started. Oh, and you can't forget to shut that guy off. You know, there's people that do this every day, all day. I'm just saying, if you like food, you should thank them. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. All right, now we turn this on and haul butt over here and do the same thing. Turn this one on, shut another one off. It's got good pressure over here, so I know the pump's working good. Almost done. All right, that was way more open than I was expecting, but this one's shut off, unhooked, and it looks like we're about to pressure up on the rest of it. So we'll make sure that it pressures up, and then we've got to go check cows. It's going. We have quite a leak there, and I noticed there's quite a bit of water on the ground. Just because of the way the pump system's set up, I'm not gonna worry about that today. We'll take care of that tomorrow. Yeah, we'll take care of that tomorrow afternoon when we move water again. So let's go ahead. We need to go check cows because yesterday they got out. Well, a bull got out and he caused me a little trouble. So we wanna make sure he's still in and they're happy with their new-ish pasture. And then we are gonna have to work them. So hopefully I can bring you guys along for that. Like I said, I'm only looking for one real animal in particular, and that is my Bulls Prospect Blackjack. We're also gonna look at the cows, make sure nobody's calving, make sure nobody's sick, all the normal stuff. But I've gotta make sure Blackjack's here because he was out in some neighbor cows yesterday, and it wouldn't have really messed up their calving date very bad, but still, you know, they have the bulls they wanna use, I have the bulls I wanna use, and I don't blame them for not being the happiest. Oh, and I see him now. Please do not mind all the junk. I hate, this is the dark side of the ranch. I don't like showing this, kind of embarrasses me. None of the junk here is mine. This part of this property was actually, there was a meth head and a chop shop and all that kind of stuff lived here. So there is just junk everywhere. And we were working on cleaning it up, but it's one of those things, right? You're trying to farm, try to survive, and then you work on cleaning stuff up. So it is on the list, and we're hoping to get to it more this year. But out checking out some cows. We got some yearling heifer, a little bit younger heifer. She was born late, but actually what happened is her mom got pregnant early. Like a young heifer got pregnant early. So I'm trying to be better about getting these steers out of here. This is a 2-year-old, almost, well, he'll be 2 in August, but he needs to be castrated, so we got to get him. 724 problem child, always out, always going through fences. And then we got Blackjack right next to him, our bull prospect. He's going to stay a bull. And then our yearling steer, late calf. And so we need to castrate all of the yearlings that we don't want to keep bulls. We've got to castrate that 2-year-old. We need to tag everything. We have to re-tag everything. We need to re-go through everything. We would like to brand everything, but we don't have a brand ready for these particular set of cows because they're not ours. They're a set of lease cows that I manage, but we're going to be butchering them and selling them because they are our cows originally. So it's our meat, but we're crop sharing basically on the cattle. So that's kind of cool. We've got another steer that will be butchered this year. I believe I have 12 or 13 steers to butcher this year, so that's good. I don't know how well you can see that guy up there. That's another steer that needs to be butchered. We have a pretty awesome set of steers. I know what bull they're out of, so that's kind of nice. Also, I'm going to pull up here and twirl around and show you. I don't know if one of these guys is the one. Maybe. Let's see. What's your number? Okay. So we've got a couple red bulls. A couple years ago, we had 2 red Pharaoh bulls here. So this is one of so we had an older bull that was super high end for his day, and this is his best offspring. And then we have the same one that out of the same cow that produced Blackjack is another calf that is a bull prospect that we are considering keeping both of them bulls. I'm not sure if he's right here or not. Anyway, we have a bunch of bulls and a bunch of steers that we need to get separated and cleaned up who's who and what's what. I'm going to go ahead and check and see if I see any baby calves or new calves. I'm going to twirl around here real quick, show you some babies, and then it's time to cook dinner. Not seeing anybody new. All the cows and the calves look good. I hope you guys seen that. Let's run and check the pump, make sure it's good, make sure the pond's good before we get too calmed down. And then we will cook ourselves some American beef ranch, grass-fed and finished hamburgers on the grill. Pond is at an acceptable level, and pressure also at an acceptable level. So I think we're good. Let's go cook some food. We have a burger here. Go ahead and get a taste, see how it is. So I did leave it on there a little bit long, but still super juicy, tastes good. I do have some burger sauce here. When I make burger sauce, I just use mayo, ketchup, a little bit of dill relish, Worcestershire sauce, salt, pepper, and oregano. You just, dip that in there.
I don't like that stuff.
You don't like burger sauce?
Mm-hmm.
Good, more for me. Okay?
Okay, yes.
Well, I'm gonna eat dinner, hang out with family. God bless you guys, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time on American Beef Ranch.